What is up, guys? It is Zoran Dozel here, coming at you with a deck profile first, and then I'm going to go into the replays. It's not how I want the build. There we go. Much better. Okay, so going back to Raidraptors again. I've been editing a bit. I've been testing around ratios and this and that and everything else in between. Let's just get on with it. Two tribute Lannises, you only need two because its effect is only once per turn, and sometimes you're going to draw into the Mimicry, and that's all you ever really want to send. Three Vanishing. Vanishing pushes for exceeds that do not specify Raidraptor in their name, like Xerophine and Castell, and Ouroboros. You I would recommend Ouroboros if you can find the space, but right now I can't. Anyway, so three Vanishing, three Mimicry to get your searches off, three Fuzzy pushes for four Strix and Blade Burner. Two Burster Strix protect your Ulti Falcon and anything else. Vanishing, or Singing and Pain, mostly just to go into the four Strix. And Lastrix to combo with your rank ups to go into Ulti Falcon, Arsenal Falcon, and anything else that you might need. Three lore, everything is dark, and you don't mind managing because we're playing two, Pot of Avidity, count them two. Regeki, push for a potential OTK, which I'll show in the replays. One Raid Force, I've been playing around with like 1-2 ratios. One works for me mostly to add back the Skip Force. One Astral Force, you only need one because, well, at first I thought its effect to add it to the hand outside of in the draw phase instead of drawing for your normal draw was once per duel. I forget where I read that, but apparently it's not the case. Anyway, so one Ultra Force, you could run more. I'm only running the one Raidraptor call. It's just another search target for Mimicry, so that way I'm not always searching Nest or Readiness. And it pushes for a few more Force Strixes. Soul Charge can push for a first turn 3 Force Strix, 3 Skip Force to go into your Ulti Falcon, your Arsenal, Satellite, anything you need. One Cattle Call, like similar to Raidraptor Call. You don't really want to open it that much, but when you have it, it comes in handy, and I'll show that in one of the replays I'm going to show. 3 Pot of Avidity, you banish a lot, be it via Mimicry's effect or with the Allure, so that's 3 banishes right on the dot for its effect. And then you could also return your opponent's banished monsters if you want to be nice. 2 Nests, just to add a little recyclability and searchability. Readiness adds a little protection along with the 2 Raptor's Gust. Sadly, this is not searchable. Onto the Exceeds. 2 Ulti, 2 Satellite. You only ever really need 2. You could push for a third, but that's, like I said, you're pushing for it. It's kind of a reach. 2 Satellite, it's a Heavy Storm, or Harpy's Feather Duster, I should say. 1 Arsenal Falcon, I've been testing with 2, but 1 is a magic number for me. 2 Revolution, you could argue to play 1, and I could recommend to play 1, but it's very situational, and sometimes I would like to go into it rather than having like 2 Skip Force, Lastrix, and go Revolution into a Harvey's Feather Duster into Ulti Falcon. Sometimes using this for the target for your rank ups, like Lastrix into Blaze Burner, Raid Force into this works very well, especially when your opponent has special summon heavy boards, which helps. Blaze Falcon, you kind of need to run it just as another target for Lastrix, and you could also go into it with Lastrix. You could also use Raid Force from Force Strix to go into it, which it works. It's a dark hole, if you would, or Regeki. Anyway, Xerophine, it's a good card. You can go into it. Doesn't necessarily mean that you always will, but you can. Castell, just a generic spot removal. Blade Burner, The one duel that I take this out of my extra deck is the duel where it would actually be incredibly useful, but I still managed to find a way to go into Ulti Falcon afterwards, so it didn't really matter. 3 Force Tricks, you can put it back with Nest, same with all the other Raidraptor Exceeds. You really want, this is what you want most of your searching to be off of rather than Nest, and Nest is what you want for recycling everything. And the one future, because you're going to be going to Force Tricks a lot, so why not? Anyway, let's move on to the replay. Alright, so this first one is against Red Eyes. I can tell just by the cards of Redstone. He wasn't able to do much considering what he had. Yeah, he wasn't able to do much. His deck, I think, might have been poorly built, considering he's got way too much to focus on. Was Black Metal? Yeah, he's also running, what is it? Metal Morph? This is Metal Morph, right? Black Metal Dragon. So yeah, he's running the Metal Morph. If I can find it. He's not even running the Metal Morph, never mind. So yeah, this isn't your typical Red Eyes build. So there isn't that much to show other than people. This is one thing that people really need to do more, and that's to read cards. Ulti Falcon is unaffected, and while Arsenal Falcon has a material, like Raidraptor as words. While it has a Raidraptor, yeah, just a Raidraptor monster as material, I get to summon an Ulti Falcon with it as a material. So people just need to read read your opponent's cards a bit more. Same here. This is actually an example of me not reading my opponent's cards. I read this card can attack while face up defense position, so I figured it just had the same type of effect as most super heavy samurais, where it applies their defense as for damage calculation, but it turns out it actually applies its attack. So that was my bad. This is also a little misplay. I accidentally clicked to activate Readiness instead of this face down skip force. So now I just have a Readiness, 2 Readinesses in the graveyard, but it's fine. I think eventually he just surrenders because he's like, okay, there's an Ulti Falcon and I can literally just go off. And here's where the pot of avidity comes in. After I get my searches off, of course, because deck thinning. Oh yeah, right. I use it here, so that way I don't have to deal with the Dark Law that I felt as though was coming. But it turns out he went to an Anki, which I could understand. So he tacked into ulti, but again, not reading your opponent's cards. I searched the booster tricks. He knew that I had the booster tricks in my hand, but he ignored it, and that cost him his Anki and the Honestinius. So now you just see me going off here. This is Garen just because I switch everything into attack mode, and he's got 2 bluffs and a Scrap Iron Scarecrow. He tries to Scrap Iron the Ulti Falcon, which again, people need to read your opponent's card effects, because the very first line of text on Ulti Falcon is unaffected by card effects, by all other card effects, including my own, which is why Readiness kind of sucks, but nonetheless, it is useful for when I don't have the Ulti Falcon. Some could argue to run no Readinesses. Some could argue play 1 and put in like another, was it Booster Strix? Yeah. I put in a 3rd Booster Strix, which could work. It could work very well. As you can see, I opened up 3 rank up magics. So with the last Strix, so I just went to, or not the last Strix, everything to go into a rank 4. So I just went into the Blade Burner, into the Revolution, popped the Dark Law, rank up again into Satellite, and then rank up again into the ulti, which is kind of stupid, but nonetheless, that's kind of what the deck does. And am I going to be salty about what my own deck does. No, I'm not. Um, this one was kind of just a stall match considering he had the Swords of Revealing Light, and I failed to realize that he had it. At the time of recording this, I think the texture was gone, so I didn't know why I couldn't attack after activating the Regeki. But then I realized, oh, Swords are Revealing Light. So that's my misplay. But he's not able to go off that much considering I have a full board and House of Distan doesn't necessarily help. And at this point he just quits because Zero Fine would just negate everything, including his swords. So yeah. Moving on, we got a... yeah, this is the Vampire Shiranui Zombies. Which, while it's interesting, not necessarily the best in the world. You can tell he's got like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo in here. Pilgrim. I think he only has the one Omega. Yeah, he only has the one Omega, which is kind of bad, especially in his case. But he manages to kind of disrupt me, but not really. Considering he leveled up his Unizombie one too many times. Because he really needed to push for the play. But yeah. So just see me getting my searches off. Deck thinning. I think it comes to the point where I only have 6 cards left in my deck. Right here, this is where I just get a +1 because Fuzzy searches itself when if it sends to the graveyard. I just activated Readiness before the lightning could activate. Now here is where I actually learned a little bit of a ruling. Utop Future says at the end of the damage step, and Lightning's effect states if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. This specifies at the end of the damage step, but it turns out it's not the case. Anyway, see, we're just all going up here. Sorry, I'm drinking water as I'm doing this. It's completely unprofessional, but must be done nonetheless. Here I managed to go into a second Ulti Falcon, I think? No. Oh yeah, I do. Arsenal Falcon, Raid Force grabs back my Skip Force, and then I go into my second Ulti Falcon. What I should have done was I should have activated this first and then switched Utopic Creature into attack mode, but it's fine. Either way, I attack over his monsters, and then he summons back the Bram. And then he normal summons the Tristan, which adds back the Unizombie. And he was like, I'm going to attack. And then I realized, nope, that's not going to happen. Now, something I should learn to stop doing is to stop using Ulti Falcon's effect during the end phase. Because this could have been a good turn for me, had I not. Because then I could have just used Tristan to attack over another one of his monsters. But I wasn't able to because I didn't control a zombie, so his attack points were 0. He bounced back the Prime, or Future, which is fine. And he banished the 4 Strix from my grave, which doesn't really matter because I have 8 cards left in my deck. Do you think I care? No. And then I just attack 2 35s per game. Insult to injury, I'm at almost 9k. It's almost 9,000? Anyway. Not going to be able to get to all the replays, but this is what I was talking about with the 3 4 Strixes. With the opening Soul Charge. And yeah. Kind of ridiculous. And because he's playing Red Eyes, it's kind of hard for him. I don't know why Metamorph is, I'm not even going to have enough time for this one. I don't know why the Metamorph showed as the Dragon's Ravine, but it's just a few texture issues. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you liked it, please do so by pressing the like button. Comment down below to make any suggestions, or if you just want to comment on anything else, subscribe for future videos. And yeah, Zoran Dozel signing out. Peace.